because I am talking about the upcoming roundtables. We have some really fun stuff happening in the near future, and I think that went out in Stephen's email, but I just want to remind everybody what we're thinking in case you didn't get the email or didn't click, or you see Stephen's and you just delete. No, I'm just kidding. So in September we're talking about recruiting. That's a giant issue this time of year, and popcorn marketing. The Boy Scouts, we're talking about the Camporee, giant issue this time of year, and where are we going to go to summer camp in 2016, so we'll have a conversation about that. In October, Cubs are talking about fundraising ideas and parent participation. Boy Scouts, we're going to do another youth roundtable, okay? So invite your SPLs, invite your assistant senior patrol leaders, invite your patrol leaders if you want, quartermasters, whatever, your troop leadership, especially the guys who like talking. We want to have it verbal, we want to have some good lively exchanges of ideas, and I have a bunch of starter topics, and we'll just pour those on too, and we'll see if they even need us to do that. Sometimes the guys just have their own ideas about what they want to talk about. Okay? Then, November. I think this is applicable. Tom and I are planning it to be applicable to both Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. We're talking about electronic and social media use by units. I think, Stephen, the goal was that every unit have its own Facebook page, for example. I have no idea how to start a Facebook page. I mean, I barely have mine there, and I watch things, you know, I don't really do a lot. So we have a really dynamic young guy coming to talk to us about how to set up a unit Facebook safely. Maybe two, I think he was saying at one time, you do one for internal use that's private and limited only to the troop or the pack or the unit's people, and then another one that's more public. But how to do it all safely and what to do about that. Group texts, I mean, I just wish I had a process where I could send one text out saying the meeting moved from the park to the school because it's going to be a thunderstorm threats tonight. You know, I wish I could do that easily. Send out 50 texts at a time, that would be wonderful. Use of Twitter safely. I don't know if your units and your boys in your units or your youth in your units are using Twitter. They probably are. Maybe it could be useful for scouts to a certain extent, don't know. Unit websites, so we'll have anybody who has thoughts about their unit websites, we can show some. I know Dick Kroll, is Dick here? He's got something called beascout.org, and he wants to make sure that that's updated, so we'll show that a little bit. There are software packages you can get, Packmaster and Troopmaster, to help run your units and to help coordinate things in your units and watch advancement and fundraising and everything else, service work. So we'll show those. We'll talk about using them in the cloud. Maybe some of you do that. That would be good to hear about. Email do's and don'ts, etc., etc. So all the electronics around scouting, all the social media around scouting, and then if you have more ideas, we can bring those too. I don't know if we need Instagram for scouts, but maybe, I don't know. So that'll be November, and that'll be a joint session here. Okay, so we'll start it with a dynamic young guy who's got a real nice presentation for us, and after that we'll have some open forum sort of stuff. Okay, and then in December now, the Cub Scouts have a, not that they're not all interesting ideas, they are all interesting.
Unique.
But where we are talking on the Boy Scout side of doing a youth roundtable, Tom is talking about having a den leader roundtable.
Den leader roundtable.
So he would like to make sure that a lot of your den leaders are here, and then they can discuss their issues with each other, and we'll listen and learn a lot about what they're doing. So on the Cub Scout side, be inviting den leaders, and then they can have their discussion, and Cub Masters and committee chairs can hear some of their issues, because maybe that'll help other units. You probably know everything going on in your pack, but if not, it'll help other units hear how things are going. Okay, so that's in December for the Cub Scouts. We have what a Scoutmaster needs to know about the new Cub Scout requirements, because there are new requirements, and we need to plug in with you guys. So we need to know, we'll be focusing on your new requirements that you all are familiar with right now, and how to make our troops accessible to Cub Scouts. So those are the things that are coming up. And we have the whole year planned out. We'll send more information, but that at least gets us into December. So you hear we have some exciting stuff coming up. Okay. Why don't we, any questions about that? About our schedule or whatever? Okay. And by the way, a lot of the topics for the Boy Scouts came out of a sheet I handed out at the kickoff. I didn't hand it out, somebody handed it out for me at the kickoff, and the unit leaders voted on what they thought were the topics they'd want. So that's what we're trying to serve you up, okay? Topics that you all said you wanted. So if there are other topics that didn't make it on the list, like I said, I'll send the whole list out real soon. If the topic didn't make it, my business card's in the back and you can shoot me another recommended topic, okay? And you can do the same for Tom.
Yep. Absolutely.
We'll send our full year's list out and then you can help us supplement it if you need to, okay? Great. Should we split? I think it's time to split. Okay, Cubs, follow Tom.
It's time to split. This is when